everyone, welcome back to the channel. Have you ever felt lonely, or do you feel it often that you are very lonely, you don't have anyone around you? Or is it the situation that you are feeling currently right now that you are lonely? If yes, then probably you need to watch this video, because in this video we are going to talk about like how feeling lonely or how being lonely is actually a good thing for you. Before we talk about it, like how is it a good thing for you, let's understand why do we feel that way. First thing, it probably because of peer pressure. uh, we when we see like people around us being in a relationship, or when we see through social media, or when we see that our friends are so happy having a partner, or our friends are so happy being the part of that particular group, we feel like that we need someone and we are alone and we are lonely. And that's the reason that we are not being happy, and we are not getting happiness. Second reason can be the social media. Like through social media we see a lot of posts, we see celebrities with their partners, we see people enjoying vacations with their loved ones, and we see a lot of other photos where people are portraying themselves happy when they're with some other people, they are partying, they are dancing together, and we feel like okay, we are missing that out. It can also be because of that you have failed in something, and you believe that if you had done it with someone else, or if you had done it with a partner, probably you could have been succeeded, right? It's not just that, it's because of also the movies. It's also because of the web series that we are having. It's because of the songs, the kind of songs that we are having right now. Most of the songs talk about romance. Most of the songs and movies showcases love story, and showcases that people gets happy when they find their love, or they find someone who they really love, or they are happy when they meet their families and all. And it somehow has created a mindset inside us. It has created a mindset inside us that makes us believe that we cannot be happy being alone. And it's a scary mindset. Like um, means I can relate it to it very very easily, honestly, because when I see like my friends, whenever I'm with a group of people, with a group of young people, I see that the conversation that usually happens is about the partner, or it's about the relationships, or it's about sex, or it's about that love or that attraction, that okay, are you virgin or not, okay, are you do you like how is it going with your relationship, okay, do you like that girl or not, have you approached that girl or not, oh see that this girl is so good. And it's not just in boys, it's similar conversations that happens in the group of girls. I'm not just saying based on assumption, but I have seen it personally. So these kind of conversations and these kind of surroundings that we have had actually created a mindset inside us, which makes us believe that okay, we need someone, otherwise we will be lonely, and lonely is not being a good position. Whenever I'm in a group and I say that okay, I'm single and I'm happy being alone, they say oh, it cannot be possible. You need to be in a relationship to be happy. But who said that? Why? Like if you're not happy by yourself, then how can you be happy in a relationship? True, right? But this is the mindset that the surrounding movies, media has created inside us. So it's fine if you're failing, it's not your fault, it's the surroundings that have made you like that. But the thing is, how can we change that? So to change that, no, we are not going to change that, right? We are going to make that okay, like how it can be stronger. But one thing we need to change is the mindset about this loneliness. So there is a difference between being alone and being lonely. In a lonely position, you are actually a victim. You are not happy with yourself. Whenever you are alone, you wish that you have someone around you, and that's not a good thing, right? Because that makes you in a sad position, that makes you in a bad position. But being alone means that you are in power of yourself, that you are happy, that you are in charge, that you it's your conscious decision to being alone. It's your choice that you are being alone. So we need to understand that first thing we need to do is we need to shift our mindset from being lonely to being alone. Being lonely is a victim thing, where you are a victim, where you are not happy being yourself, or where you're not happy spending time with yourself because you're constantly thinking about someone else in the mind, or you're wishing that you're with the part of some group or some community, and that's how you're going to be happy. You are alone physically, but you're thinking about someone else. You keep thinking about someone else in the mind, and you are not present at that particular space. But when you are alone, you are making a choice that I want to be alone. I want to spend time with myself, and that's a choice that you are making, and that's a position of power. So the first step is to change our mindset from being victim to being alone. Yeah. Now let's see how being alone can actually help you out to become a stronger person, or how it is so beneficial for you that you don't know right now. Cool. So one of the major thing and one of the major benefits of being part of being alone is that that you are not dependent on someone for your happiness. You can go to movies alone, you can watch the cricket match, football match, you can go to the park, you can go to visit the concerts, you can go to other places alone. You are not dependent on someone for your happiness. When you are alone, you are actually loving spending time with yourself. And it takes practice. I can understand, like, okay, it's good to say that, okay, you are not dependent on someone else for happiness, and you are just with yourself. But yes, it takes time, it takes practice. For me, this practice actually started from when I was in the 11th standard. I actually lost most of my clients. If you don't know my story, you can check it in the I button. I will put the link here. So when I was in the 11th standard, I actually lost most of my friends because I changed my course, and due to that, most of the time I was actually being alone. I was alone with myself. I used to eat my lunch with just myself. I used to go to different rooms, different laboratories or classes where I have to travel alone, and that's how the journey started. In starting, yes, I used to feel like, why I'm missing those groups. Like when I used to see that, okay, those groups are moving together and I'm just going alone, I was like, okay, I need some friend, I need someone. But slowly and gradually, I actually became habitual of myself, and I started feeling good just being alone, just being being in charge, not depending on someone. Okay, because when I used to see that whenever like the other person, like the other people used to be alone and their group was not there, they used to feel so sad and depressed, and they used to feel so not in power, so weak, because they are not with their group. But when I started to see, like, now being the part of group or being not the part of group is not actually affecting me, because I have been practicing it gradually. I was practicing it unconsciously, definitely, because I was not aware at that time that being alone is powerful. But when I see, okay, that now I'm not dependent on some group for me to being happy or to feel that I am in charge, I started feeling good about it. And then I realized that yes, now I'm in my power. I'm not dependent on someone for being happy. So this is the first benefit of being alone, that you are not dependent on someone being happy. So congratulate to you. Yeah. Now, the second major benefit of being alone, and what makes you stronger being alone, is that you start to know yourself more. Why? Because when you spend most of your time with yourself, you start noticing your thoughts, like what is going inside me. Okay, where have this thought came from, and why I'm feeling like this. and you start realizing your thoughts, you start focusing on your thoughts, and you see, oh, these are the things that I'm really feel connected to, or doing these activity or these things actually makes me happy. And you also realize that these are the things that I really don't like to do. I was just doing it because everyone else was doing it, but I honestly don't enjoy it. But these things that I do, I enjoy. For example, let's say I never enjoyed playing football. Yeah, not that much. It means playing sports is always good because you're releasing your energy, the dopamine gets released, and you feel good. But I don't used to enjoy it as much as cricket. But I used to play it because, like my friends used to play it, or the class that I was in used to play it. The groups that there were in the school that used to play it. But I realized I don't enjoy it. So I started becoming the part of cricket community in my school. And I started playing it and I loved it. Yes, those people were not the part of my class. I don't used to know those people. Or sometimes those people also, those people used to be from smaller classes. But I used to enjoy it because I love playing cricket. Through the course of time, when I started being alone, I realized I love writing and I love reading books. And I realized that why I have not pursued it before, because somehow somehow we have this Indian mindset where we are ready to spend 500 rupees, 1000 rupees, and more than that for a dinner in a restaurant. But we are not ready to spend money on 200 rupees just on a book. If you can see, like, here is a book, Start With Why, means I'm currently reading this book, and there is, like, I'm constantly reading something because I love it. I love reading books. For example, like, I started this book yesterday and I found a lot of different stories. I got to know about how advertising is working and how it is so important to have our whys clear. I love reading books because it helps me to interact with, the author, with the great-minded people. This is somehow something I realized about myself. One thing I realized that, I used to watch a lot of movies, a lot of Bollywood movies, because my peers used to watch that and they used to have conversation about it. But somehow with the time I realized that I don't like all the Bollywood movies. I'm not saying the Bollywood movies, but majorly of the Bollywood movies, that the kind of Bollywood movies that are making right now, I don't like it. And I just watch the rare movies which have really good message in it. That's something I realized, that I don't like movies. So when you're alone and when you're with yourself, you start noticing your thoughts, you start noticing your actions, you start noticing your feelings, that whenever you do something, how do you feel about that? You start become aware about that. And that's the best part of it. That's the best part of it. So congratulate again if you are alone right now. Now, the third benefit of being alone is that it boosts your creativity. Yes, it boosts your creativity. How? You're thinking, how, man? Like, how does it boost my creativity, right? So when you're being alone, that basically means, that's very simple, that you are not around with someone else. And you're not, your major of the time you spend is with yourself. Right? Yeah, I'm so dumb, I know. But yeah, this is what alone means, right? So when you're being alone, you're surrounded with less amount of people. You have less interactions. And when you have less interactions, which means you have less conversations, which means if you have less conversations, which means that you have less exchanges of words. When you have less exchanges of words, that means most of the thoughts, most of the words that goes inside you are your words, are your thoughts. This is a bit deep. I will repeat again. You can listen. Yeah, just listen. Okay, cool, listen. So when you are alone, you have less interactions. Less interactions means less exchanges of words. And when you have less exchanges of words, it means most of the word that is going around in your mind, the most of the thoughts that is going around in your mind are your thoughts, are your words. So whenever like now when you have your thoughts, your words around you, you do the things which you feel right. What happens with other people, see what happens with other people. Like when they want to do something, they go to a lot of people. Like for example, let's say when somebody passed the 12th standard, they go to some engineering wala bhaiya in their neighbor, they go to some CA, or they talk to with as many as people they can. They talk to their relatives, they talk to their friends, and then they decide that which career to choose. But if you see this, they are not making their own decisions. They're getting all the data from other people, and they are just making decision on based of that data. That doesn't mean that is going to be the right decision for them, unless or until they have analyzed it and they have have checked inside, okay, this is something that I want to do it or not. It's not their decision. But when you are being alone and you have less interaction, less exchanges of words, the decisions you are going to make, or the actions you are going to take, is because of you. It's because of what you feel right. The way you are going to do the things is by your own way. Yes, because I can give you example. So I have led a lot of numerous amount of teams, and when I was the part of so when I was leading a particular team, I used to thought like, how can I make meetings more engaging? Like sometimes it gets so boring to just discuss the normal operations that goes inside the team, or normal work we do. Like how can we make meetings more interactive? And when I talk to people, like they said, okay, just have a check-in spaces, or have a 1-2 question spaces where people are answering the questions and it will help them to engage. But I said, okay, that this is a very common thing. What else I can do? And I decided that no, this is not the answer, and I have to figure it by my own. So I started experimenting a lot of things, having a really cool song in the start of the meeting, or having a fun spaces, just a normal informal spaces in between to discuss about personal lives, or to discuss about the food, etc., other topics. It really helps. So if you see, I was not limited to the other people thinking. And these ideas actually came when I was sitting alone and I was figuring out, okay, what else I can do. I don't have to, be limited with the other people knowledge. If they have not figured it by own or by themselves, or it's because they have not consciously put efforts, or it's also because they are not spending time with themselves and they are just, doing what others are doing because they are a part of group, a part of community. But when you're being alone, you have the time to think. You can use your own creativity. You start questioning yourself. Okay, what is something else I can do? And it boosts your creativity. And I'm a live example of it. And I enjoy that part of me. Where, if there is a situation, most of the times I come up with something different. Because I'm not limited to the knowledge of the people around me. So, congratulate to you if you are alone. That's a good thing. It boosts your creativity. Now the fourth point, the why it is best to being alone. If you are a youngster, or if you are a young person between 20 to 30, you know that, like people around you have girlfriends, people around you have boyfriends. And when you are alone, you don't have to spend any amount of money on your partner. It can be a girlfriend, it can be a partner. And that actually saves a lot of money of yourself. And at the same point of time, it actually reduces a lot of stress, because I see people around me with the relationships and they are in a lot of stress because now they have a specific time to call to their boyfriend, their girlfriends. They have to mandatory put a message. Yes, I know it's not with everyone else. Some people are really happy with their relationships. But somehow, you have to invest your time if you are part of a relationship. And if you are alone, you are saving that time, my man. So enjoy. And it's a really good thing. And also the expenses. Somehow it's not with every relationship, but somehow you have to, when you go out, or when you go somewhere, you somehow spend some money. But when you're being alone, you are in charge of your pocket, and you only spend when you really want to. So that's the 4 point. Not beneficial for everyone, but this is a valid point. Like, you have to agree, right? Means, yes, I'm trying to be fun here, but this is a valid point, that you don't have to spend much on your girlfriend or boyfriend. If you agree or not, but this is a valid point. Yes, I know. And the fifth and the last point that I want to convey through this particular video, why it is so good, why being stronger, why being alone makes you more stronger, is that being alone also actually makes you more empathetic. Yes, it's scientifically proven that when you're being alone, you start understanding emotions, you start understanding feelings more. And that's a really nice thing, right? Because then you start connecting with other people a lot. One research, I was part of one of the conference, and there was a session by TCS, and so the person who was presenting from TCS was a global coordinator of TCS, and she was at very high position, and she actually mentioned one thing, that that one of the skills that the corporates, or one of the skills that companies are going to look forward in their employees in the future, when the AI will take over, is the empathy. Companies will look forward to have people who understand the feelings, who can understand the emotions, because no matter how big machines you can build, they cannot understand the feelings, they cannot understand the emotions. They just work based on the data. And that's where humans come into the picture. So that's something really, thought-provoking for me. Yes, and for one thing I will say, that having empathy is a skill. That being alone will make you develop. And trust me, it's most powerful skill. Because when you're empathetic, now you can understand the people around you. Now you can understand people when you have conversations with them. You understand how they are feeling. Or you can understand like how you can make them feel good. It can be beneficial when you're working with a coworker. It can be beneficial when you have a client meeting. It can be beneficial when you're, with someone you like and you want to impress them. Or it can be beneficial when you're with your family and you want to improve relationships with them. It's good. It's a skill. Empathy is a skill that being alone makes you develop. So these are the 5 benefits that I wanted to convey, that being alone is fine. Being alone makes you stronger. When you develop these kind of 5 skills, not 5 skills, but these kind of 5 qualities, you actually become a stronger person. So if you are alone, or if you are currently in a lonely position and you are going to shift your mindset to being alone, you will start seeing these 5 benefits. It's so good. Being alone, it's an amazing feeling when you are with yourself, when you are in your power, when you are in charge of yourself, of whatever you are doing. It's an amazing feeling, man. So, call to action. Shift your mindset from being lonely to being alone, and start seeing these 5 qualities in yourself, and start seeing yourself become a really, really strong person. Till then, this is your brother in possibility and prosperity. Peace out. Remember, I'm always there for you.